If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Well, welcome everyone to our March 17th, 2024 edition of Open Mic America. I'm Rich Fassler, your MC for tonight's show, and I'm joined by Rob and Penny Cork, our interviewers, and Capo Dave Williams, our founder and tonight's show engineer. Our mission is to support your local open mics, where you can go in person to see songwriters performing their original music. Tonight, thanks to Zoom technology, we can travel all around the country and see those same performers in their own homes. Without gimmicks, without frills, this is the beating heart of American music, the tapestry of story and song that's been weaving us together for generations. So, now let's introduce tonight's performers. By the way, you can find links to their work on our website and on this YouTube video. So tonight, we have Bet Paget from Raleigh, North Carolina, Bill Hernandez from Portland, Oregon, the Hewitt Family Band, Brookhaven, Mississippi, the King Teen from Durham, North Carolina, Glenn Mershaw from Monroe, North Carolina, Robert Edgar from Sunnyvale, California, Steve Simpson from Fort Mill, South Carolina, and Mike Simpson from Saratoga, California. So, let's get the show started with our first guest, Bet Paget from Raleigh, North Carolina. Bet, take it away.
The Zoom is mine. So, anyhow, it's St. Patrick's Day, so I thought I would play my wee little Irish harp. I found this harp about this time of year, several years ago. It was just when things were beginning to pop out of the ground. Spring was beginning, and it's such a magical time of year. This was the first little harp song that I wrote, and so I call it Fairies in the Garden for this magical time of year.
cool.
Lovely.
Very lovely.
So, this is another song that has Irish connections to it. In Ireland, there are characters, or legendary characters, called Selkies. They also appear in Scotland and supposedly traveled from Scandinavia. And Selkies, or Selkie or Silky, are seals which come out of the ocean, and when they do, they lose their coats or their skin. Often it's taken by a human. Usually a male human takes the female Selkie's skin and hides it. And the Selkie then takes on a human form and is often held captive by the human. And this is a song that I wrote about a dream that I had that I was a Selkie. So it's called In My Dream. Hold on. Maybe that'll help. In my dream, I was a silky from blue water. My coat disappeared into wet sand. The song of the ocean behind me. Before me, in the moonlight, a handsome man. In my dream, I bore him 7 children. But each day I longed deeper for the sea, for my heart belonged in pure blue water. But without my coat, I could never leave. In my dream, my love left every sunrise. He then returned when the stars began to swirl. One day I secretly followed to spy upon and learn about his world. Where he went, I saw darkness and destruction. There was greed and war, bloodshed and despair. I ran back to my home and my family. I ran away to get away from there. Into a slumber, and in my dream I had a dream. I found where my coat had been hidden, and with it I headed for the sea. I awoke from my dream within my dream, went to the place where I found my coat, then bid farewell to my children. That was the last time to them I ever spoke. When I awoke from my dream, I found destruction. There was greed and war, bloodshed and despair, but I can dream of my place beneath blue water and hope that man won't destroy the peace down here.
Oh, yeah.
What a beautiful song. Very nice. Ah, thanks, Bet. Very, very nice. Let me pass you over now to Penny and Rob, and we can learn maybe a little bit more about that song.
Hi, Bet.
Hey,
Two
Penny and
beautiful
Rob.
songs.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I know you've been playing the guitar for a while, but I don't think I've heard you do the harp before. So would you like to talk about that a little?
Um, the harp is just the sweetest instrument, and I went to a songwriters group meeting. I host a songwriters group here in Raleigh, and we travel around to people's homes. And one of the members, we went to his home, and this harp was sitting there, and I said, "Wow, I've always wanted one of those." And he said, "Well, it's for sale. Take it home with you." So I did. And the harp, I started on piano like when I was 5 years old, so I played piano all my life, and I thought, well, the harp is going to be just like the piano, but you know what? It is quite the opposite. First of all, you have to pluck the strings with your left hand, and like I had never done that. You know, pluck strings with my right hand, but not my left. And everything is sort of counterintuitive. I don't know why. You know, just maybe because it's plucking and it's different. Anyhow, it was more of a challenge, quite a bit of a challenge, more than I thought it was going to be. But I love it. It's beautiful. I've written several tunes and melodies and songs where I sing and play at the same time, and singing and playing the harp at the same time is twice the challenge of just playing the harp.
Oh, I'm sure, but it's so beautiful. So thank you for that. Really lovely. And then your two songs tonight had Irish Celtic theme, and I'm wondering, is that a place that you've traveled to, or have you just read a lot about folklore?
Read a lot about folklore. I've done some traveling, not to Ireland. We've been to Wales and Scotland and England, and then other places in Europe as well. But folklore and folk songs. I've always loved traditional music, and silkies are sung a lot in a lot of our old traditional songs. So I was familiar with silkies many years ago from traditional folk music.
Very cool. Well, I have to admit that's not anything that I had ever heard of. So thank you so much for singing that and
I
expanding my knowledge base.
I had one comment. Something that I really enjoyed about that second song is the dream within the dream. That is very cool because you're taking it to a whole other level with the storytelling there, and yet it's still kind of playing on a traditional theme. So it's a pretty cool personal and modern adaptation of the folklore and that song tradition that's gone before it. So that was very cool, as well as the melodic stuff on the harp. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
yeah, it's a pleasure.
Take care. It's good seeing you again. And let's go back over to, oh, there we go. Let's go back to Rich and see who's coming up next.
All right, thanks. Okay, our second performer, we are going to go now from North Carolina all the way over to the West Coast. We're going to Portland, Oregon to hear Bill Hernandez. Bill is actually the music director for the nonprofit Influence Music Hall based in Hillsboro, Oregon. I hear the word on the street is it's the best open mic in the country.
It is.
And and every Friday night they have the open mic on odd months. Listen to this now. On odd months, they play at the Odd Fellows Lodge. Coincidence? You be the judge. and even months at the Pythian's Lodge. I think that's how you pronounce it. And his next gig is going to be this Thursday at MBAR on Northwest 21st in Portland, right? Correct? Portland?
That's right, yeah.
All right. Okay, so Bill, let's hear what you got.
All right, Rich, thank you so much. It's great to be here. I got a couple of new songs. This first one is called Following You, and I kind of wanted to write a song about letting go of expectations and just letting the universe or a higher power or whatever you believe in take control and just kind of letting go of expectations. It's called, like I said, Following You. Take my hand and show me the way. Step inside my head, tell me what to say. Guide my heart, show me what is true. While I'm following you, while I'm following you, following you, I surrender my heart and soul. It's the right thing for me to do. You don't need to give me any reason. While I'm following you, while I'm following you, following you, I know that you walk right beside me. I know you hear every word I say. I know you have the answer to my question. That is why at your feet I lay. May I rest my head on your shoulder? Will you make my sky sunny and blue? Give me courage, grant me fortitude. While I'm following you, while I'm following you, following you, I know that you walk right beside me. I know you hear every word I say. I know you have the answer to my question. That is why at your feet I lay. I am letting your words guide me. Hard times I now know I'll get through. I'll walk blindly into the bright light while I'm following you, while I'm following you, following you.
Oh, very nice.
Good stuff.
Next song, it's called What If I Stop Time? And, a couple months ago I turned 68, and I just, you reflect back on life and you just realize how fast it goes, man. And that's kind of the inspiration for this song. And it's also my friend Penny Cork. We were talking about a song. Rob and Penny have a great song called Annie. And I was amazed that Penny told me she wrote the song in an hour. So that was my goal, to try to write this song in an hour. And that's what I did. It's called What If I Could Stop Time? It's kind of funny how fast life goes by. It's over in the wink of an eye, reminding me the reasons why I don't want to waste any more time. Every second, minute, hour goes by, the clouds keep spinning through the sky, reminding me the reasons why I don't want to waste any more time. If I could stop time for 1 minute, would that even matter to you? And if I held your hand for that millisecond, would it suddenly make all the lies true? What if I could stop time? Every week, month, year goes by, the flowers grow but then they die, reminding me the reasons why I don't want to waste any more time. But what if I could stop time for 1 minute? Would that even matter to you? And if I held your hand for that millisecond, would it suddenly make all the lies true? What if I could stop time? Is there something I can take? You're keeping me awake late at night. Is there someplace we could go? Somewhere we could take it slow and never fight? Every falling star's an alibi. It never knows how it died, reminded me the reasons why I don't want to waste any more time. But what if I could stop time for 1 minute? Would that even matter to you? And if I held your hand for that millisecond, would it suddenly make all the lies true? What if I could stop time? What if I could stop time? What if I could stop time?
Great. Great time. All right, Bill, sounding great tonight. Let me pass you over to Penny and Rob for a little
Penny and
interview.
Rob.
Hi, Mr. Hernandez.
what's up,
How
Bill?
are you?
Long time no see.
This is great. I gotta tell everyone, these are two of my closest friends, and it's just so much fun to. Penny knows all my darkest secrets, so
Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't put them into songs, so that's something for me.
Yeah, I haven't yet.
So just full disclosure, Bill and I are both on the board of directors for Tualatin Valley Artists, aka the Influence Music Hall, and we do actually perform together. But this is Bill's time, so I'll try not to throw
Yeah.
anything in the mix here.
So, Bill, you gave yourself an hour to write a song,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you wrote a song about time.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I did.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, you just think back, especially when you start getting old. I'm retired. I retired from Nike 4 years ago. I retired to pursue my passion and hobby because I realized life is just too short, and you just, every day is a gift. And 68, man, you don't know. So that's what inspired it. Then when we had that conversation, I couldn't believe you wrote that song Annie in an hour. That's like one of your greatest songs. And I think you sit down and it's kind of a drill. You kind of try to make yourself do it, and it just kind of flowed out of me.
Perfect. And then, as far as music, I know that it's taking you some places that maybe you hadn't thought you would go, as far as teaching. And what do you think about that? What do you get from your students?
It really, for me, it reinforces just how music unifies us. I teach on Wednesdays. I teach beginning guitar and ukulele at this American Guitar Academy, and I love it. I have this 10-year-old kid who's learning "Hello Goodbye" on ukulele,
Nice.
and I'm like the world's hugest Beatles fan. I mean, I've been to the Beatles Museum in Liverpool. I've crossed Abbey Road, and I also have an 80-year-old guy who just started. I mean, the range. It's just fantastic. I just love it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And if there's something that you would like to tell people out there who, maybe somebody's going to pick this up, either they're watching live or they're going to see it later, on YouTube, and maybe they are at that point in life where they've retired and maybe they've always had a passion for music. What would you say? How would you suggest they get started?
I would just say, like, really, I also belong to two Toastmasters clubs, and I always tell people the best speeches are always when you speak from the heart. Like, what is it you really feel? And I'm also on the board of Tualatin Valley Creates, which we try to unite artists. And I'm amazed that so many people just don't think of themselves as artists. I mean, I remember talking to at this networking event, this woman, she said, "Oh, I can't paint, I don't write." I said, "What do you do?" "Well, I love to bake. I love to bake desserts." I said, "How could you not think that that's an art? You're using your mind, you're creating something."
Oh,
So I
absolutely.
just think, and I know a lot of people say, they don't know what they're going to do when they retire. Like, what do you enjoy doing? Sit down and really, what feeds your soul?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my
Um,
advice. It's never
and
too late.
right, it's never too late until it is too late. And I was going to say, I haven't heard those two songs before.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, especially coming from you guys. That's a nice compliment.
All right. Well, let's see who's up next. Rich, can
Thanks,
you
Bill.
tell us? Thanks, Bill.
Thank you. Love you guys.
I hope so. Actually, one of my favorite performers here on Open Mic America. They are it's Libby and Charlie Hewitt, also known as the Hewitt Family Band, from nowhere else but Brookhaven, Mississippi, and they've been on a number of times. Always great to hear them. They currently can be heard at churches and special events in the area, and they have a bunch of stuff on YouTube as well. Some really great tunes. So, Libby and Charlie, take it away.
Okay, we'll show that later.
I'm not sure it was. Yeah, well, if she's talking about, but got a new little CD here, but we're not going to do any of those. I try to keep my song categorized into love songs, falling in love, falling out of love, getting divorced, got a lot of those. And what Phil Oak used to call, and Bob Dylan thing, they call them topical songs. They were especially protest songs. I guess an example would be Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll, the Bob Dylan song. But I also have a bad girl section. So we're going to sing a couple of these bad girl songs. And these are all true. There's one part in there where the guy dies, and so obviously I didn't die. First one's called Christina Morgan, So Love.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Christina Morgan, she lived across the tracks. She lived in the rundown, worn out shack. She went out at night. There were men with so rude and so love. Christina Morgan, so loved. Oh, Christina Morgan was only 18. All through her life she'd been torn between not doing what was right and what was necessary to live. None of the women liked the way that she dressed. They said she talked funny and her hair was a mess. But none of the men had ever complained about her. No, they never complained about her. Christina Morgan was a good old girl. She prayed to the Lord above. She said, Lord, now I ain't got much. Christina Morgan, so loved.
She's so loved.
Then one day, a man comes along, tells her he loves her, sings her a song. She made plans she'd bring him in of, a cottage covered with roses and love. She's so loved. She made plans that she'd been dreaming of, at a rose-covered cottage just filled with love, and all kinds of children running around in the yard. Oh, they're running around in the yard. And one day, before the dreams could come true, the telephone rang, said, Christina, is that you? Yeah, Johnny just died in an offshore rig explosion. Oh Lord, an explosion. Now her dreams that were shattered, there was nothing left to do except to live the only life that she knew. With tears in her eyes, pain in her heart, she's so loved. Oh Lord, she's so loved. Oh, Christina Morgan was a good old girl. She prayed to the Lord up above. She said, Lord, now I ain't got much. Christina Morgan, so loved. Christina Morgan, so loved. And now I need you to give a little bit away. Stay in touch with the common man. Christina. So nice to meet you.
Very nice.
Yeah, I didn't die. These are both about 50 years old, by the way. Well, no, one was 20 years old. And last guy I was talking about how at 68, well, I'll be 82 in July, and it gets faster as you go. It gets faster, Lord. So this one's called Salvation in the Backseat of a Red Chevrolet. Blonde hair from the bottom, she left her house, driving a slut red Chevrolet. She smelled like a hooker on Saturday night, on the way to her local soiree. Her top was cut low, her skirt was too short, with her hair piled high on her head. The smell of blue gardenias filled the air. She was lonely, hopeless and sad. There'd be church in the morning with her head pounded loud. She swore she'd never do that again. But tonight there were demons to lead her astray. Salvation in the backseat of a red Chevrolet. She thought no one knew the secret she had. Thought the whole world was deaf, dumb, and blind. She'd go her own way and not care what they say. looking for love in a red Chevrolet. And she'd been to the river, she'd been baptized. The preacher told her Jesus was the way. She tried to walk in the newness of life. Oh, habits die hard in a red Chevrolet. And she'd turn up in the morning with her head pounding loud. She swore she'd never do that again. But tonight there were demons to lead her astray. Salvation in the backseat of a red Chevrolet. Salvation in the backseat of a red Chevrolet. You find it everywhere, boys.
The classic.
I know all of you boys and girls have all been in that back seat at one time or the other, I feel like. Some probably more than others, but
All right. Okay. Let me let me pass you over to Penny and Rob. We can hear some more about that song.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Those are fabulous bad girl songs. I love it. Do you happen to have any bad boy songs? Maybe Libby wants to work on one of those.
Yeah, that's what I need to work on. But see, I'm wife number 6,
I'm
so
also-
he's been through a few bad girls,
Yes. Well, always save the best one for last, right?
right? And I tell people I admired that he kept on till he got it right.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Perfect. Perfect. And so, for the lyrics, do you co-write them? How does this work for your relationship and your?
I do have a guy who lives in a town about 20 miles from me, and he sends me lyrics, I guess you'd call
Yeah.
it. They're more like poems.
To other songs, but these were 100% Charlie.
Yeah, but and so he lets me change anything I want to, and he to me the hardest thing about writing a song is having a good idea.
Yeah.
And so he's done everything. He wrote one about a hanging in the Old West, and I looked at it, and I said, "Damn, I make a song out of a hanging." But I read through it again and started playing some chords, and damn, it was not a bad song. Playing in the Wind's the name of it. But and he's a strange one, and never met him. Never talked on the phone. We do it through text messages and Facebook message. And I'm afraid we've been doing it for 5 years, and he does about a third to a quarter of everything I write. It's something he has sent me or given me the idea. And so he's real generous with what I do with it, and always says he likes it. I don't know if he's lying to me or not, but I'll try to get it.
Well, without knowing this person, I would think that if he didn't like it, he would stop sending you words.
Well, he
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
We've sort of taken a break, and it's just, oh man, it's just. So I haven't.
Mhm. So on his new release, can you see that?
Yes.
Very
We can.
Okay, yeah. So we've got the credits for
His name.
his co-songwriter, yeah, on there.
Hoffman Jr. And that's
And
volume 2. by the
instruments.
way.
Instrumentalists, yeah, everybody. So took a while to get that one out, but it
It did. I swore we started. It took us a year almost. This guy's busy, and so I told him, Tyler, he's also my preacher and my music producer. I said, Tyler, I've had marriages that didn't last this long. Just thinking to get this damn thing out. So we,
and if I could interject one thing,
Please.
speaking about songs and time and how long, I'm not nearly as prolific at songwriting, but I've done a few. And the one that I get the best reaction from people is a little tongue-in-cheek song about menopause that took me 30 minutes one night. Because to me, the ones that I really feel and feel are my best just come tumbling out. You almost have to hold on and to write them fast enough. Yeah. Of course, I don't do the melodies and the lyrics. I don't do the chords.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I hope to hear that song sometime. That sounds wonderful.
Oh, and I got one comment for Charlie. I love the tradition of story in a song, and you do it well. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it goes. You always get a little bit of a surprise. You get enough of a name and a character there where you can kind of hang on to the story as it spins. So that's the real deal as far as I'm concerned.
I like it. And you can go on YouTube and hear all these songs.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that.
Yep,
All
absolutely.
right. It was great seeing you both.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Take
Till next
care.
time, you guys.
All
right.
right.
And turn
Oh,
that back to Rich.
thank you. Always a pleasure seeing the Hewitt family. But Charlie, do you have your T-shirt on? Oh, there's the man. He's got his Open Mic America T-shirt on. All right, all right. Thanks, guys. Great seeing you again. So we're moving on from Mississippi, and we're moving a little up north to North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina. We're going to hear the King Teen, and he plays open mics all over the Triangle. But a favorite is at the Common Market Thursday nights in Durham. And kind of a special here. The first song he's going to play tonight is called "There Goes the Neighborhood," and it is going to drop as a single on April 11th. So, the King Teen, take it away.
Thank you very much. There's a dancing bear in my neighborhood. I don't know how he got here, but he's pretty good. I like the way he's so light on his feet. I like the way he keeps his yard so neat. He's my neighbor, and I like him, but he better stay out of my trash, or we're gonna fight. There's an elephant living down the hall. He makes a lot of noise, but he's no trouble at all. I like the way it looks like he's smiling when he talks. I like his big old floppy ears and his lumbering walk. He's my neighbor, and I like him, but he better quit eating my peanuts, or we're gonna fight. And the neighbors say, there goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood when we fight. Now the guys upstairs are dinosaurs. Thought they were extinct or something, but there they are. They helped me out when I had to fix my clutch. I like their stoicism and how they're scaly to the touch. They're my neighbors, and I like them, but they better quit staring at the sky. I had to make that sign because people don't seem to know when that song ends, no matter how much I try to make it seem like it's the end of the song. You know, I get in staring contests with audiences, and ended up with 2 dates and a fight out of it, and so I had to make the sign because I was 0 for 3. This next song is a very short song because it's about all the things that make life worthwhile. Deep discussions with toddlers, shallow ones in bars. And when your nieces and nephews haven't learned you're a jerk, friends who stand by you when you really don't deserve it, and a hot summer night when you don't have to work. Finding a 20 in an old jacket pocket, and new guitar strings and pizza and you. Yeah, that's it. That's my list of what makes life worth it. I may have forgotten a couple of things. Oh yeah, stray cats that let you pet them, and Malamars when you can get them, and when the band stops playing and the audience sings, and when your head hits the pillow and you're already dreaming, and laughter and moonlight and you. Yeah, there's just a few things that make my life worth it, like laughter and moonlight and you.
Very nice.
Very nice. Wait a minute. Flip your guitar. Flip the guitar so we know the song's over. Oh, there we go. Hey, now you're talking, buddy. Great song. All right. The King Teen. I'm going to pass you over now to Penny and Rob, and hopefully they'll ask you about your name. All right, Penny and Rob, there you go.
Well,
Rich, you read our minds.
yeah, I was just gonna say. Well, let's start there and work our way out, shall we? So,
Yeah.
tell us more about your moniker, my friend.
It's a stage name. My name is King. I used to be in a band called the Wankin' Teens with a guy named Wayne. He said he was going to be Wankin' Wayne and I should be the King Teen, and I've been the King Teen ever since.
Ah,
There's
okay.
there's a song there, you know.
Yeah,
There hasn't been one already.
there hasn't been.
There's been plenty.
So I gotta ask you this. Then we'll get into kind of more. This is a vicinity question. What is the deal with North Carolina? I've heard more people on this show from a state smaller than like the western half of Oregon who are all just incredibly and like a huge variety of people too. So is it something in the water? You know.
You're left out. You're trying to say incredibly talented.
Oh, incredibly talented.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I cut myself off. So
Yeah.
there we go.
I can't answer because I'm new here. I just moved here last summer, so I've been very happy to find this, really lively music scene here. Of course, I always knew about the Triangle area, the Chapel Hill, Carborough scene back in the punk days in the '80s and '90s was always big, and of course, Carolina music going back probably 100 years or more. I've heard about that history, and so yeah, I'm just glad that they haven't kicked me out yet.
Now you're in the right place for sure. You know.
So, would you like to be called King or Teen?
King is fine.
King.
We
Hi.
can call him the.
Whenever I have to put my name in something because I'm signing up for something online, my first name is my last name is King Teen, and so I get emails that says "Dear the," which I really like.
Awesome. So, the idea of There Goes the Neighborhood, and you were saying that's going to be a single that's going to be coming out soon in April, I believe.
Yeah.
What inspired that? That's a pretty interesting neighborhood you live in.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of I guess it's a metaphorical song. It's a song about acceptance and lack of same, and that kind of prejudice that is like, oh, I don't like those people, but my next door neighbor, he's great. He's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
And so it's really about that kind of thing. And of course, the phrase "there goes the neighborhood" has historically been used when, the wrong people moved into a neighborhood. But in this case, it's me. It's the guy who's already in the neighborhood talking about his neighbors. I'm the problem. I'm the one who's
Yeah.
starting all the fights over these petty
Right, right. I love
components.
it. That's awesome. I especially love the imagery of dinosaurs helping you fix your clutch.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, just which is there a species of dinosaur that would be best adapted at that?
I'm too old to have been obsessed with dinosaurs as a kid. So my kids were,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't learn all that stuff. I'm sure they could even they're grown-ups now. I'm sure they could do a half hour each off the top of their heads on dinosaurs, but I
We'll
don't know
take a
anything about
poll
them.
for next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
It's
I
time.
just thought the connection to, oil and
Yeah,
I just thought there was something there. I don't know.
it's pretty much
I
perfect.
feel like dinosaurs would know how to fix a clutch.
Yes, I'm
Absolutely.
sure they
Yeah.
would. All right. Well, that was a delight, and
Thank
we
you.
that will be able to hear you again. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's head.
Okay, so yeah, I'm sure it wasn't muted here. So speaking of North Carolina, we have our next performer also is from North Carolina, so we don't have to travel that far. Glenn Marshall is in Monroe, North Carolina, and he's actually hosting and playing Thursday, March 21st at the open mic at Homebrew in Monroe, North Carolina, and also playing Friday, March 22nd at Sergeant Pepper's in Salisbury, North Carolina. So, Glenn, take it away from North Carolina.
Thank you, Rich. It seems like we're all here this evening, but happy St. Patty's Day to everyone. This first song is called The American Dream, 1948. It's about a good friend of mine, Mr. Don McGinnis, who moved when he was a teenager from North Carolina to California. So we were in the car one day and he told me about his journey, and this song I kind of put together. So 1948, pack the cars to go. 39 Dodge and a 46 Ford full load. Headed west to find the American dream. Left Carolina's fields and streams. In New Mexico, we're running out of food. 'Cause all the quail are running on the side of the road. Daddy got the rifle from the Ford. Mama cooked that quail, was a gift from the Lord. Headed west to find the American dream. Looking for a better life, it seems. The 10 of us, we're on our way. Will the future bring tomorrow today? Made California in 2 weeks. Bought a small farm, but the roof it leaks. Picked up this guitar and I'll never look back. Now Played the Vegas stages, but a family man I am. Headed for the American dream, looking for a better life it seems. 10 of us, we're on our way. Will the future build tomorrow today? You enjoyed that one. Don McGinnis.
Very nice.
Yeah, so a little bit later in the show, you're going to hear the leader of our songwriter group, and that's Mr. Steve Simpson. Great musician. And my wife's kind of funny. She's like, why don't you write songs like Steve does, instead of this progressive, classical, obscure kind of stuff. So I tried to make up a funny one here, and this is actually a true story. It's called Make Stuff That Works, right? All these products nowadays, everything is made to bust. It's ridiculous. Like we just got this little Black & Decker vacuum. We were vacuuming the car, and the thing broke. I think we've had it for like a year or whatever. Anyway, so it's Make Stuff That Works. Hey, nations of the world, make stuff that works. Tired of things breaking down, I'm losing my shirt. Things used to be made with pride and with class. Take your extended warranty and shove it up yours. Make stuff that works. Make stuff that works. Your 800 number is the next best thing to dirt. Make stuff that works. I'm losing my shirt. If cheapo plastic items, oh, my septic system hurts. Make stuff that works. Make stuff that works. Your 800 repair numbers, the next best thing to dirt. Make stuff that works. I'm losing my shirt. Your cheapo plastic items, my septic system hurts. Don't worry, it'll work. Just get the extended warranty. Make stuff that works. Make stuff that works. Your 800 repair numbers, the next best thing to dirt. Make stuff that hurts. I'm losing my shirt. Your cheapo plastic items, oh, my washing machine hurts. That one's for Steve. Trying to write in his corner.
All right. Very, very cool. All right. Let me pass you over to Penny and Rob.
Hey, man.
Hey, Glenn.
Penny, Rob.
Oh, yes. The extended warranty.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I want to say a lot of great performers tonight. It's a great show. Thanks to you guys for running it. Nobody appreciates everything that you do behind the scenes to get this thing up and running. But great performers and great hosts and hostesses. So
Yeah. Well, big thanks to Capo Dave for
Yep.
yes,
this whole ball rolling.
that's right. Keeping it rolling.
So, yeah, you had a little vacuum cleaner that was giving you fit?
Yes, and our septic system did fail at Christmas time a couple years ago.
Nice
Oh.
time.
Not a fun thing, let me tell you.
Definitely not. So,
But yeah, stuff is, even some of the American stuff is made so cheap now. It's ridiculous, I don't know.
yeah.
So
do you feel like you're more inspired by frustration or or
I don't know. I don't know. I get for like in terms of songwriting, I try to get a lot of things out of like, magazine stories or newspaper stories or things that are happening or what I'm feeling. Not necessarily out of frustration. That song for sure. I
yeah,
guess.
definitely, definitely. And then how long have you been writing songs?
Probably since the 1980s, I think.
Okay.
So
So you've been at it for a while.
some good, some not, like everything else.
Of course, of course. And what do you have upcoming? Do you have any gigs that you want to mention? Any?
Gigs. Oh yeah, yeah, I think you mentioned earlier. I run open mic in Monroe here, a little downtown section. It's kind of quaint, and that's Thursday. It's called Homebrew Tap Room and Tunes. Small place, and they do a lot of music. Very into music, and then a place called Sergeant Pepper's up in Salisbury. It's about an hour from us, and I haven't been there yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
I hear the steak is really good.
Is it?
I just wanted to interject one thing. One of the things I've always enjoyed about hearing you play is you inject a level of enthusiasm into your songs. You really dig in on a lot of it, and that level of commitment is admirable. I like the songs as well, but I'll go out and I'll even hear a song that maybe I'm not bowled over by, and if somebody's really committed to that song, it leaves a mark.
Yeah, yeah, I think, that's a good point for all of us, musicians and songwriters, is to, put your heart into it. Even, you may play a gig where there's three people. Well, guess what? Pretend it's like 30 or 300, because you never know. I mean, even those three people you can touch with your performance and style and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm also curious about another thing on that first song. I may have actually asked you this question before, but
Yeah.
autobiographical is that first song?
It's pretty good. They did find a quail on the side of the road, and the dad shot it, and they ate it. And there was 10 of them in two cars going out to California from North Carolina. And Don McGuinness played a lot in in California and also Las Vegas. He was kind of a minor country star in the 50s and 60s. He's online, and yeah, he has stuff on TV shows and movies nowadays. Even they still play some of his stuff. So
Yeah, but again, your commitment
pretty true.
sounds like a personal experience, which is very good.
Yeah, it's an interesting life. So I thought I'd write about that, and that's another good songwriting tip too. If you come across somebody different, or just something that you feel, hey, maybe I got a song in this. I recommend that you sit down and start jotting it down.
Yeah.
Right.
Sage advice.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were talking about regardless of the number of people in the audience, have you had an experience where you've played maybe to a small crowd and something really wonderful came out of that you hadn't anticipated because there were so few people?
Yeah, I think so. It happens with a lot of us musicians playing for different scenarios and stuff. I mean, you could be playing somewhere in a rainstorm and hardly anyone shows up, or a snowstorm even. I'm from Chicago, so I've had that situation a lot as well. But you just gotta do the best you can each time. That's what I
Absolutely.
recommend. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna love that sense of commitment.
Absolutely. Well, Glenn, it was a pleasure listening and talking to you, and we'll look forward to seeing you.
thank you. Yep. Happy St. Patty's Day again, everyone. God bless.
Hey,
I'm
Glenn,
Rich.
before you, hello? Did I overstep?
Still here.
Oh,
Sorry.
hey, Glenn, quick question.
Yes.
What kind of guitar is that? A 12 string?
Yeah, so this one's a Guild. I think it's a 94 or 95. It's a US one, and Guild still makes great stuff too, but I think the American made ones are a little bit better than some of the overseas made ones.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you can't go wrong with Guild for a 12 string. So
All right, good to know. Yeah, it sounds great.
thank
You
you.
sound great on it.
Appreciate
All right, so we are leaving North Carolina. That's all we have from North Carolina tonight. And we're going out to California, and specifically Sunnyvale, California, to hear Robert Edgar. He is no stranger here on Open Mic America, part of the staff. And tonight he's going to perform. And He told me the last open mic he attended was the South Bay Modular Synthesizer Open Mic, which is, that's a mouthful, which is held on second Saturdays in San Jose, California. But I think he's probably going to be playing his guitar tonight. So let's see. Anyway, Robert, over to you.
Hi there. Yes, guitar tonight. Actually, I played guitar synth at the other mic that was there. So let me try this out. I'll play two songs, and first one is called November Lot in Chinatown. Well, the question's not why bother, and it's sure not what's it worth. Your focused, dilated eyes over cold, concrete earth. And as you stare, a fog receding, visions appear suspended and plain, folding there, forming al fresco, moist shadows in bright northern rain. Fallen coins, barking dog, public space. Paramedic leaning to you, brushes blossoms, sends frozen pollen, drifting toward a patch of dirt near. Your cloak of white sleet quickly falling, and as it lands, its quiet detonations cause what you see to juxtapose. Rebounding clouds of atomized soil, encased in icy embryos. Seeds and frost, shroud of slush, parking place. He smears the hair back from your eyes. You're the sweating pietà, the newspaper that was your pillow, sticking to your ashen face. And as you rouse with the moment receding, congested windshields reflect your embrace. Fallen crystals singing in spirals, inconsistent patterns, insistent space. Fallen man, mise en scène, human grace.
Yeah, good tune.
Ah, very nice.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much. Here's one that is different. This is called The Birth of Cinema. A babe's first breath is coughed below, as lenses frame a brief exchange. She rests upon an ice prop drifting darkly outside a camera range. This child's friend is not the sea. This child's friend is not the night. This child's friend is not the ice. This child's friend is not the halogen light. From barren filmic storyboards, a pair receives the child and lifts her beyond cinema, raising her full spectrum into real sun. Well, the hexagons grin and the dice spin. Even the fortune teller's loaded. And while none of these predict the past, well, our bodies are surely coded for the future, babe. Though our lifelines run out fast, thread the film through the projector, loop the audio just right. The stuttering sounds that reach us are savors of such a nervous life. As silver grains are swirling screens, we pass each other therein, where babies age through turns of plot, and parents smile again. Each frame in sequence flickers, emulsions burnt away, and before the bulb is cold, child, let's together realize the meaning till now cauterized in these shadow puppets, illuminating this passion play.
Yeah.
Wow. Very nice, Robert. Very nice. It was great. Okay, let me pass you on to Penny and Rob and learn a little bit more about those tunes, maybe.
Hey man.
Hey there, Robert.
Hi.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions just to get in there to start with. I am curious, what is your do you have a method? So I'm listening to these songs and I'm thinking, versus, are you familiar with David Bowie's so-called famous technique where he would surround himself in images and words and be in a chair in the middle and see what came together? So that was the first thing I thought of when I started following your lyrics.
Uh-huh. Well, the first one was probably from a glimpse I had of someone who's getting medical attention in a on a winter day in a parking space in San Fran. So the rest of it came out of that. It's I do a lot with images, and I do think of, I keep returning to the images of the place and of the event when I write, and I draw from those. And I work in film also, and video.
Yeah.
And so I think of them almost like two different tastes of the same meal. You know, they go together. I think of them together.
Absolutely. No, it's very cinematic. You cut from one scene to another, or crossfade and left to make your own conclusions, or at least get the
Yeah.
feeling. I also have to ask you. My other question is, do you have lyrical or musical heroes that you have, people that have influenced you style wise?
I'm sure. I mean, all of us do, right? Which ones I'm aware of. I'm
Sure.
um, certainly Tim Buckley would be one for songs.
Right.
He was a wonderful model. But Captain Beefheart, Don Van Vliet. I mean, you can't always go directly from the source to the effect, you know. And so it's sometimes like nothing here really sounds like Beefheart, but there is an approach to it that I think definitely shook me up at an early age and comes out a little bit somewhere in the music.
Oh yeah, no, I can hear that, and just to think that was there were record deals for folks playing non-mainstream music back then. I mean, rather
Mhm.
livable record deals, but that's a whole other topic. I think Penny's got something for you.
Mostly, I was just going to say, Robert, you had some really interesting imagery that someone had smeared the hair from the face and then
Back from your eyes.
stuck to the face. And I was just,
Yeah, it's very
this,
evocative.
yeah, it is. It's really wonderful the way you're able to actually paint a picture for us in words. And that makes sense that you're in film and video. So,
Well, in both of them, both with music and songs and lyrics, I try to go to the concrete. And so I go to concrete images rather than saying what it felt like.
Hmm.
In other words, I was overwhelmed by the beauty. Well, I don't do that. I try to find something that will evoke that feeling in the listener. And the same in film. Try to go to the beauty, the image that is most effective, or the images as you cut between them.
yeah, well, it's wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks.
No, I think I'm good. So yeah, I always enjoy hearing you. So.
Are you going to be playing out anywhere other than
I don't know I mentioned the electronic music thing, but it takes me a month to get a piece together for an electronic music or something like that thing, and it takes me a long time because I try to put together a different system each time to present. And so if I can get a system working together and I think it's musical, then I'll go again. Open mics are always around, and so I've got a pretty deep selection of songs. These are, 15 years old, something like that. So these are older pieces, and I can reach deep in my pocket and pull them out. So maybe, so we'll see.
Great. Well, it was great listening to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Let's go back over to Rich.
All right. Yeah, Robert, always great seeing you and hearing you. Okay, we are now going to leave sunny California and we're going to go back over to the eastern part of the United States. We're going to Fort Mills, South Carolina. We're going to listen to Steve Simpson. Steve plays on the first Saturday of every month at Olive's Mud Puddle. How can you not like that name? Olive's Mud Puddle in Fort Mills, South Carolina. And he's also playing on April 12th at Main Street Theater in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And on April 20th with Tracy Simpson at the Charlotte Folk Society Festival. Busy, busy guy. So, Steve, what you got for us?
Well, I've got a couple songs for you tonight. I appreciate y'all having me on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We've had a bunch of our local people on here, and they've all loved it, and I've loved listening to them. Thank you. This first song is a song I wrote right after the war started in Gaza, and it struck me that that war and most wars are fought about the same thing, and it's something that's in our DNA. A lion marks his territory. A man builds fences and walls. Land, the common denominator, unites and divides us all. Land and survival are coupled and baked into our DNA. No trespassing signs and spider webs say it's mine, best be on your way. The earth's been here 5 billion years, a little longer they think than the moon. It took 4 billion years to tweak these genes. We won't be changing anytime soon. Distant cousins claim the same sand dune, not too far from Noah's flood. That sand is made up of seashells and quartz and generations of blood. The earth's been here 5 billion years, a little longer they think than the moon. It took 4 billion years to tweak these genes. We won't be changing anytime soon. We won't be changing anytime soon. Fast forward another million, the only humans still alive might be the few with that mutated gene that says share and you'll survive. The earth's been here 5 billion years, a little longer they think than the moon. It took 4 billion years to tweak these genes. We won't be changing anytime soon. We won't be changing anytime soon. But we could start with one sand dune. A lion marks his territory.
Wow, great lyrics. Great lyrics.
I got my first guitar when I was just a kid. And I've spent hours and hours playing music. If I had spent all that time playing stocks and bonds, by now I'd be cruising. We answer to the choices that we make. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we make mistakes. But as I look round the room at my sweet music friends who have saved me and stuck by me again and again. I'm not wishing I had better vision. I'm thanking God for bad decisions. I saw red flags everywhere, and so did she. But we kept plowing straight ahead and just ignored them. Though we tried to beat the odds when it all fell apart, no one needed a post-mortem. We answer to the choices that we make. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we make mistakes. But as I look at the face of this amazing child who has loved me, inspired me, and blessed me with that smile, I'm not wishing I had better vision. I'm thanking God for bad decisions. Yeah, we answer to the choices that we make. But sometimes God intervenes just for goodness sake. And as I look at my life and the crazy things I've done, He has found something good in every single one. So I'm not wishing I had better vision. I'm thanking God for bad decisions. No, I'm not wishing I had better vision. I'm thanking God for bad decisions.
Wow. Wow. What a great song. Man, fantastic lyrics. Really great. All right, Steve, I'm going to pass you on over to Penny and Rob now.
Hey, Steve.
Hey.
Absolutely delightful, man. That's great stuff. One of my favorite parts of those songs, I mean, other than the fact that they were well crafted, well sung, and performed, is you have a gift for a really good resolution to your hook, you know. And by the end of that last song, we were both singing along with you, if that makes any difference. So, I just wanted to make those two comments because those are a couple of things I really value in a song.
Yeah.
So.
It's totally true. It's a good thing we were muted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, really beautiful songs, beautiful playing style. And is this your first time on Open Mic America?
It is. I have some friends who've been on here that are members of our local songwriting club. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but Pammy Martin is a member. She's been on here. Tracy Simpson's been on here. Glenn Marshall, who's on here tonight. Louis Beeler. I can't remember who else been on here, but they've told me about it.
Yeah, well, gosh, you're in great company with those folks that you mentioned, and what a delight to have you on the show tonight.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Have you gotten on the tiny stage concert deal with Louis?
Yes, I have.
I'll have to look for those because I want to hear more of that stuff. And I hope you're going to be more of a regular around here. I'm sure Dave would love it.
Love to.
Yeah, so Steve, I was just going to ask you, the second song you did, the Bad Decisions, was there one little moment in life that inspired that, or how did that come about?
I think I've made a lot of bad decisions in life, so it just sort of culminated, I think.
Yeah, that's with most people that have a few years on them, you know.
I'm 72 and I've had plenty of opportunities to make. I've made some good decisions too, but I think we've all made some bad decisions. I don't think there was one particular thing that led me to that song. Just a lot
Yeah,
of.
it's a beautiful song. I love it. Do you do you have your music streaming somewhere on Spotify
I
or?
do. I do. I have 3 CDs that I've recorded, and they're all on Spotify and the other streaming platforms.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, we'll definitely have to look for it.
Hey,
And
I
oh,
was
go
just going
ahead,
to say
Bob.
before we let you go, you may have something else too. Is there anything, any kind of show
I was
or?
just gonna ask that.
Okay, we're on the
Yeah.
same page. Any show, anything coming up, or you want to plug real quick?
Well, I play every month. I've been playing this one gig for years at a coffee shop in Fort Mill, South Carolina, which is where I live, which is close to Charlotte. It's called Olive's Mud Puddle, and I play there on the first Saturday of every month. And I always have a guest, like Glenn Rochelle has been my guest. We swap songs for an hour, and then I turn it into an open mic for an hour. I do that every month. I've been doing it for 14 years, I think,
Oh, wonderful.
longer. And then I play other places around the local. I'm in the Charlotte area. I play 2 or 3 times a month somewhere.
Perfect. All right. Well, it was fantastic listening to you, and I
Thank
look
you.
forward to hearing you
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
Thank you,
a real
Steve.
pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, and let's see what's going on with Rich.
All right, we're up to our final performer. And before we stayed in North Carolina for a couple, and now we're staying with the Simpsons because we now have Mike Simpson in Saratoga. I'm sorry, we probably lost a few viewers. Anyway, we've got Mike Simpson, who is no stranger to Open Mic America. He's on the staff, and he's been a host on many Open Mic Americas. So Mike he also performs at the First Unitarian in San Jose, Fine Vines in Saratoga. Of course, he performs here on Open Mic America, and he performs virtually on South Bay Folks. And so, Mike, great to have you on as a performer. Let's hear what you got.
All right. Well, one of the things about Open Mic America that I like to tell people when they say, well, I don't really think, my songs would be good enough for that. And I say, well, you don't have to play your songs. And I'm not going to tonight. I'm going to play 2 of what Capo Dave has termed heritage songs written prior to 1925. We've got one that's written in about 1780 and another one that was written in about 1808, and this is the 1808 one here, and they're both Irish tunes. Oh, the Banshaw Peeler went one night on duty and patrolled and spied a goat out on the road and took him for a stroll. And bayonet fixed, he sallied forth, and he caught him by the wizen, and there swore out a mighty oath he'd send him off to prison. Have mercy, sir, the goat replied, and let me tell my story. I am no rogue, no ribbon man, no cutty Whig or Tory. I'm innocent of any crime, of petty or high treason. But my tribe is active at this time, it is the mating season. Do not complain, the peeler said, but give your tongue a bridle. You're absent from your dwelling place, disorderly and idle. Your hoary locks will not prevail, nor your sublime oration, for the penal laws will you transport on your own information. No penal laws have I transgressed by deed or combination. It's true, I have no place of rest, no home or habitation, but Banshaw is my dwelling place, where I was bred and born. Oh, I'm of an honest working race, that's all the trade I've learned. Oh, and I wager, sir, that you are drunk on whiskey, rum, and brandy, or you wouldn't have such gallant spunk to be so bold and manly. You readily would let me pass if I had money handy. I'd take you to Parting Glass, it's then I'd be the dandy. Ah, the Parting Glass, it's then I'd be the dandy.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, the next song is mentioned in the last song. So if I can get my words up here and move them around a bit. Okay, and we'll change instruments too. And I have to put my fingernails on here. I use artificial fingernails, but not the ones that are stuck on permanently. So I have to stick them on. All right, here we go. Oh, all the money that e'er I have, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I had done, alas, it was through none but me. And all I've done for want of it to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. So bring me out the parting glass and raise it up to toast us all, and to everyone, both great and small. Good night and joy be with you all. A man may drink and not be drunk. A man may fight and not be slain. A man may court a pretty girl and perhaps be welcomed back again. But since there is the Lord to be, a time to rise and a time to fall, come fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. I am. They're sorry for my going away, and all the sweethearts that ever I had. They'd wish me one more day to stay, so build to me the parting glass and drink whatever befall, and I'll gently rise and softly call good night and joy be with you all. But since it falls into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with
Whoa, Mike, beautiful. That was beautiful, buddy. Very nice.
Lovely.
Great choices for today. Okay, let me pass you on to Penny and Rob.
Oh,
Hi,
nice.
guys.
Hey there, Mike. How's it going tonight?
Oh, well, you heard. I'm here at this marvelous concert. Yeah.
It's true.
Then
Yeah.
I'd say it's going great.
All right.
Yeah, it's also interesting to see you on the other side of this equation rather than asking the questions, perhaps answering them. I had a bit of a tip on something to ask you about on that first tune. I do believe the individual involved was led by the Wizen and or taken by the Wizen, which strikes me as there we go. I see. I went an entirely different place with that, but that's because I'm not fully mature yet. I'm working on it.
And you're perhaps not an 18th century Irishman either. Yeah.
If I am, I've forgotten all about it, but that tends to happen. And the other thing I wanted to comment on is a Parting Glass. I've heard so many versions of that song over the years in different treatments, and that was a beautiful arrangement. That was very
Really
very
was.
great.
Thank you.
Bringing on an unusual instrument for Open Mic America, bringing in an octave mandolin. Is that correct?
Well, technically, because of the fact that it has on the two lower courses,
Yep.
the strings are divided by octave.
Right.
So it's technically an Irish bouzouki nowadays, is what we've come down to calling it. But yes,
Yeah.
essentially it's an Irish mandolin, an Irish octave mandolin. Also, bouzouki, longer scale length, octave mandolin, shorter scale length. You know, I mean, it's just,
Sure. Yeah. No, it's a great sounding instrument too. So.
yeah.
And-
Yeah, there's a couple of words. Go ahead.
Oh, no, please finish.
I was gonna say there's a couple of words in the first song that people may not
That's-
follow. Yeah, rogue is just basically thief. Ribbon man is a term for Irish nationalist, Catholic nationalist movement. It started in 1808, and they wore green ribbons to show. Cutty, of course, cut purse, pickpocket. And Whig and Tory are self-explanatory. They're political parties. And a peeler, by the way, is a cop.
Ah, interesting. How do you know the history of that moniker?
Oh, I did it one time, but I'm very old now, and I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what you get from being from the 18th century. But well, it gives me some homework to do later.
A peeler.
Yeah, it has to do with a guy named Peel who established cops in Ireland.
Yeah, there you
Sir
go.
George, maybe Sir George Peel, something like that. Anyway,
Yeah. And I noticed you got your green on.
I do.
Yeah,
2 shades.
yes. And
And
then
it looks like a
your
third behind her.
backdrop. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. Good. Um, do you do a lot of those uh, historic songs? I forget what we're calling them.
Heritage songs. I think I probably do more than anyone else who's on this. Dave really likes them, and I really like Dave. So
Well, they're great songs, and what kind of research are you doing, you know, to find?
well, so the tradition with this kind of stuff, the Irish stuff, is you talk about who you got the song from,
Hmm.
and certainly Parting Glass came from me from a concert my parents took me to when I was fairly small, at a little place in New York called Carnegie Hall, and it was Tom Clancy, Tommy Makem, the other Clancys and all, at Carnegie Hall. I went, and that's where I heard Parting Glass first. Peeler and the Goat I picked up from. Oh yeah, Chris Caswell and Danny Carnahan. Caswell Carnahan was the name of their duet. Chris Caswell was a longtime guy back when I was, I don't know, about 8th grade, something like that. He was playing Irish music here in Saratoga with the clan Caswell. He's no longer, sadly, with us, but he was a great harp maker, and musician, and bodhrán player, and harp player, and singer. And Danny Carnahan is still with us. He's still around, making the music happen. Anyway, I recommend looking up "New Leaves on an Old Tree," the Caswell Carnahan album that now has both albums on it. It's a treasure.
Wonderful.
Oh, hey, and this just in from the Peanut Gallery. The King Teen has informed us that Peeler comes directly from Robert Peel.
Robert Peel, that's right. Yeah,
And
so Bobby too comes from that. Yeah.
Yes.
that was his input. So there we go.
Yeah.
We're happy. The group participation is
That
fantastic.
There
is
we go. Who sent that in?
The King Teen, good old King,
All right.
or
Yeah.
excuse me, the.
Yeah. His first name is the.
Yes.
Last name is Teen King.
Yes, you got it. Perfect. Well, Mike, it was wonderful hearing you again. We'll look forward to listening to you again soon.
Yeah, and thank you for the lovely interviewing all night there.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
very
Great job.
Pleasure.
You know,
So
I-
much fun.
And I really enjoy hearing you on this. I enjoy your interviews as well, but I really enjoy hearing you on the musician side because you really have a lot to offer. So we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Actually,
very much.
appreciate everyone who's been on tonight. It's just been a fantastic show. And we're going to turn it back to Rich because I think he's got some more stuff to tell us about.
Well, thank you very much. And it has been a great show tonight. One of the best. Well, unbelievable as it is, we're at the end of another show. And I would like to, at this point, I would like to thank each of our performers one at a time. So when I call your name, wave to all your fans out there and on the internet. Yeah. Anyway, so Bet Paget, Bill Hernandez, the Hewitt Family Band, the King Teen, Glenn Merschel, Robert Edgar, Steve Simpson, and Mike Simpson. And please remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to the music of all of our OMA performers, and you can find archives of all of our past shows. I would like to thank Rob and Penny for doing a really fantastic interviewing job. And I would like to thank our founder, Capo Dave Williams, who I always say works tirelessly behind the scenes. And this time he actually was working tirelessly behind the scenes because he was our engineer. So he made this show run smoothly. And certainly I want to thank our audience on YouTube. If you like this show, please spread the word. Don't keep it a secret. Listen, you can even download and print your own posters from our website and hang them somewhere around your area. where people can see them and hopefully tune in. And this is huge, you can also get your own t-shirt, Open Mic America t-shirt, through openmicamerica.com. Get on the website and there's a tab that you can pull down and it shows you how you can design your own. You can have the logo as big or as small as you want, and they're really good quality t-shirts. And importantly, check out your local and virtual open mics. We've listed the ones where our performers play under the local open mics tab on our website. So we are here the first and third Sundays of every month. So our next show is going to be Sunday, April 7th, same time, same station. And stay tuned for the next full lineup of performers. Let's see. I think that's about it for tonight's show. So I'm going to ask everyone to mute. It looks like you're all muted. And I'm going to say good night, America. We'll see you next time.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.